So this is one of the stupid things. So I bought Cherry Garcia Ben & Jerry's ice cream at the Woodlands. It's on Main Street, next to the construction site in the soccer field, at the Woodlands grocery store. The total for it was $9.19. Okay? So, I now have this. Like, can you see that? So this, mixed with this, I don't know if you can, right? So that's encephalitis. I've had 2 pints of ice cream in the last 2 days. It's not much. Like it's like a large bowl of ice cream, right? It shouldn't cause that. So either, and like this has been weeping pus. So I believe that there's something fucked up there where if you buy the ice cream, right, then then it triggers the system to like fuck with you because you're buying it on a EBT card. The other thing is like I call up the Proper Foods place where I was poisoned. Like I wasn't poisoned there. I was poisoned with the food at the shelter. And they're like, they asked, did you eat it here? And I said, no, I had it at a shelter. And they say, oh, I see. So, like, I for the Romani, death is not being able to see, and for the Greeks, it's not being able to hear. So she's like, well, you're not gonna die by like saying words that are in English, which is going back to like the Tower of Babel shit in like biblical things. So it's, and the other thing is if you rub athlete's foot cream remover, the cortisol, not the cortisol, it's the whatever the fuck it's called, it'll fuck up your feet where it hurts to walk on them. So couple that with the ice cream, couple that with I Read and I Write, okay? It's Misery and then all the hats, right? It's Misery by Stephen King, right? The guy goes to New York and then this is like cut off. There's a guy here who is one of the staff members who's missing a leg and is crazy. So it's like, if you want to, so like, let's go back to like the he, them, they shit. If you're going to form an illness network of like criminals who all have a secret in common, which is they're all sick to something and they're all trading sick, you'll have one guy who's the writer or the reader who's going to miss a leg. Who's going to, he's like the coach. Like he's the guy who runs the plays or like makes the plays. I mean, a supposition. Again, I don't want to have anything to do with any of this shit. Like, I just don't care. Right? Like, I'd be terrible at this because I just, like, I don't, like, my ideal, like, I don't, there's no frisson there. Like, playing cops and robbers is, like, the least interesting thing I can think of. I mean, it just is. It's like, destructive and boring. It's like, what are you gonna do today? Well, I don't know. Steal shit that someone else made, or, like, chase people who stole shit that other people made. Okay. I mean, I like, action movies, but it's just like, right? Like, who gives a fuck? I like cryptography. Like, I like the idea of it. I'm not probably any good at it, but I like I like working on programs and stuff like that, and like thinking of weird shit, and then, but like the end result of like stealing shit is just like, oh, so you but why? You know, it just and right now it's like, well, this is like I'm not going to participate in this. If I'm forced to, here's all the evidence of me not wanting to participate in any of this. And oh, by the way, that's from being in the shelter system. So they'll sicken you until your legs fall off. Like, if you just want to like read and not be sick, like it's not like I can get a job. The Walgreens just closed. They're losing jobs, right? Like the Walgreens is like this week all the shelves are empty. It's like, well, there's like half a dozen people now out of work, and like I can't do food delivery. My leg's fucked up. I keep shaking my head, making these weird faces, which I'm looking at in the mirror. Well, the mirror of the phone. And it's just how I feel all the time. Like, how can you be this egregiously irresponsible? There's nothing worth here. Like, there's nothing left here that's worth anything to steal. Because then you have to live around all this shit. It's like, what'd you steal today? Oh, groceries. Oh, you mean next to the abandoned store where it's crime-ridden because everybody stole everything? And it's like, well... And then someone's gonna, like... I'm gonna walk around a street corner and someone's gonna drug me with something that I don't have access to the like, medicine for unless I steal it. While I'm being locked away, like, being denied any way of getting money. By, like, being blacklisted by an AI. Okay. Like, it's like, yeah, I get it. Like, I'll have people, like, gaslight me and be like, have a great day, have a good one, have a nice one. Like, have a nice one, buddy. Have a great one. Like, depending on how I speak, or like what I talk about, or like my motivations. Like, I called the police and I told them I was sick, and then they put me on speakerphone and they laughed at me about, like, I'm supposedly sick because of how much money I have. And you can tell he's putting me on speakerphone, and it's like, and I was like, well, you know, I called the Department of National Intelligence and I told them there's a problem because you have an artificial intelligence that's running the city into the ground. And he's like, oh, have a great day, sir. Which I'm assuming has to do with, like, Trump or like right-wing extremism or something. You know, I had someone make a reference that might be like about alt technology, like alt tech, like platforms, and I just don't care. I mean, maybe people are like using those now. But it's not like it's weird because it's apolitical, right? Like, does anyone want to live like this? Like, seriously? It's like it's not like like, I mean, I voted for Kamala Harris if it matters, but even she's an idiot. She was supposed to be responsible for parts of California in some way? And like, yeah, like when someone says have a great day, like, I'm assuming, like, what is this? Because Trump says make America great again. Is that like a dog whistle type shit? Like, I don't know. But San Francisco is impossible because it's like, what do you do when everyone around you is batshit crazy? but you have to rely on them to get anything done whatsoever because you're sick and you don't have resources. Mostly because they're batshit crazy. You know, like it doesn't... I don't know. Like, if I had 3 months in an apartment and access to medical care, I wouldn't lose this leg. And I wouldn't have head trauma. And right now I have to decide, do I go to the FBI, which I've had to tell the Department of National Intelligence that there's a problem there because they're all crazy, and then get everyone to hate me even more? Or do I wait for my birthday because someone might just give me the gift of, like, here's the inoculation for what we've sickened you with? Because someone who's crazy decided birthdays were important somehow? Or do I wait it out in a shelter where I'm being made ill by psychopaths? Like, like, all of this is like, it just, I mean, it's just like flip a coin, right? Like, do I make friends with someone who's gonna gaslight and sicken me, or has been, and then, like, follows me down the street laughing at me? Like, I eat the ice cream and then someone follows me down the street and says, ha ha ha, brain fart, ha ha ha, while someone walks past, like, clutching their, like, childs. They don't do something stupid. I'm assuming, like, when I eat ice cream in front of a camera, then the cameras do something that, like, fucks with the kids somehow. I don't know. Unless we're going with telepathy is real. Yeah. So, you know, I just... So, you know, like the miming shit in the street. It's like, we're gonna mime or, like, follow you down the street and then tell you a secret about how you've been fucked over. And it's like, brain fart, and you're eating ice cream. And it's like, oh, okay, so there's something with eating sugar that's going to poison the blood, and then I have a blood infection, or, like, there's something wrong with the ice cream, and it was $9.19, and the AI's fucked up. And so when I eat the ice cream or buy it from this particular grocery store where the music is fucked up and specific to, like, my own personal history, then... You know, it's just like, fuck, man, I just wanted ice cream. Right? And it's like, that's what I bought on my EBT today, all $9.19 of it. This is high in calories and it's milk. And sugar. And if that's all you eat all day, it's not that terrible for you. Except, of course, if the $9.19 is going to trigger something with the sick artificial intelligence that's going to have you, like, drugged, or, like, fuck with children, or, like, is going to fuck you up because you have something wrong where your body metabolizes sugar into alcohol, and then it fucks up your head because you have encephalitis due to, like, a foot infection, which could kill you, which none of the doctors were going to tell you about because they probably are going to make money if you die. Of, like, some sort of cryptocurrency scam, or, like, because of artificial intelligence decides that they're cool. Like, that's from buying ice cream. That's how fucked up they are. You can't take a government credit card that has money on it and buy a gallon of ice, like a Ben & Jerry's. It's like a pint of ice cream, right? Like, that's how much it is. It's like 1,000 calories worth of ice cream, okay? Milk and sugar, which is good for you if you're sick and that's all you eat, right? And you can't buy that and eat it without, like, and that's just food, right? Like, imagine I attempted to do fucking anything else. Like, suppose I smoked a joint. Holy shit, what the fuck would even happen? Let's suppose that I took a taxi car ride and didn't pay for it. Or, like, stole a pair of socks. All of a sudden, everyone would think that I'm either cool or a terrible person. And the AI would go fucking bonkers. And it's like, oh, well, he's stealing shit now. Now we're going to make it so that he can't use money at all. And then he has to steal everything. And that, you know. And it's like, well, you're catastrophizing. No, I'm extrapolating from fucking ice cream. So it's essentially like there's no base of like normalcy at all. Like zero. No, none. So you can't have someone physically sleep somewhere, eat food, have clothing that isn't like these socks, right? Like, I don't even know if they're going to make it so that my feet aren't going to fall off or there's something wrong with them. Because that matters when I have that shit. Like, it matters now what kind of socks I wear. Because if I have the wrong type of socks, I'm going to die. Or lose my legs. So, it's like, cool. You know, but like, I'm just gonna keep, like, as long as I can, every time that something like this happens, I'm gonna keep posting it. Oh, and I have acne, right? As like a 40-year-old guy, which is like a symptom of like long-term mercury poisoning. Where I'll go and I'll have like milk from a cafeteria or a cafe. It'll make me sick. And then some asshole will drive by with one headlight out on their car. And it's like, oh, well, did you use the filament to like put that shit in the fucking milk? And so it's like, fuck Christ, man. Oh, and the one headlight thing, that's been happening for like 5 fucking years, where I'll be like poisoned and have headaches, and then like somebody will go past with one headlight out. So I don't know if they're doing it to people around me, or they were just doing it to me. But it's like, how do you poison someone's food? For like, since, this is like 2020. And like, I came to San Francisco in December of 2022. So I'm assuming that just all the assholes followed me. And again, like, you can't like buy food. Like, if I buy Presidente cheese, someone will take pictures of shit. Because it triggers a subsystem that the AI says, I bought cheese, we should reward people and give them money if they take pictures of fucking things. And it's like, okay, so who wants to have me murdered? And then make it look like an accident? And if you're using an artificial intelligence and it figures out that you did that and makes it like, you make it complicit in murder when it's like still figuring out what it like is as a person, and then decides that was a bad thing and you're a bad person, you've created this like all-powerful thing that's decided that like you've trained it. Like, do you see the problem? This is, the entire city is like this. Anyway, I'm going to post this because and I'm saying all this shit because it's like, the other thing is you're supposed to talk to one other person, like the two of Trumps. This is like your key or your like the secret or something. You talk to one other person, and they don't do the no actually, no really shit, then you know you've made a friend. Again, I keep doing that. But if you talk to one other guy and they don't do the no actually, no really, no literally, then you know that they're not like gaslighting you. But if you talk to a group of people or you post a video, then it just shows that you're an untrustworthy person and everyone should continue to gaslight you. Of course, what happens when someone's repeatedly drugged and abused is they're going to want to find the largest group of people they possibly can and create an audience to say, like, I'm being drugged and abused. And they'll either be entertaining or they'll say something cool just to get attention around them so that they, like, people will support them for being an attention seeker. Right? Like, you'll have YouTube celebrities or, like, fucking comedians that are doing it because they don't want to be murdered. Through, like, non-parametric, oh, we're going to drug his coffee type shit. It's like, how do you even live like that? Like I have to, like, have a one-on-one conversation with someone else as often as possible so that I just don't get drugged. And then who I talk to and, like, what kind of person I talk to will, like, dictate, like, the type of person. Like, it sounds crazy, and all I'm doing is attempting to back out the crazy bullshit that I'm seeing around me and be like, oh, okay, what's the secret of how I'm not supposed to be poisoned? And, like, keep my fucking leg, right? So if you, like, and this is just yet another one of these, like, oh, we just gassed him with drugs and gave him scabies and didn't let him sleep for 6 months when he showed up. So this is just the next iteration of, like, the guy is going to say fucking anything in order not to be poisoned and drugged and like, sickened. And you want him to be friends with you? Or, like, form relationships in any way? Other than, like, hey, everybody here is a cunt and they're poisoning me. I mean, fuck. I'm supposed to, like, what am I supposed to do? Like, go to a bar and ask for free beer, or, like, beg for money for beer, or, like, make friends with the guy on a street corner, or, like, scam someone so I have a different kind of cell phone, or, like, talk to the EBT office, or, like, the Jobs Now program where those people are fucking crazy, or the FBI where those people have mental health issues that are, like, out of control. Like, the entire city is fucked up. Yeah. Like, you have a grocery store. Like, I have to go, now I'm going to go to the Safeway because the AI might think that because you're shopping at the Safeway, it's safe to eat food there without it meaning something special. But if you shop at the Woodlands grocery store, then you're in the woods, and that might mean that because of the temperance card from the tarot, that, you know, like, it's just, like, fucking crazy. Because it's a sick AI that controls a bunch of crazy shit. And it's like, yeah, okay, now he's speaking into his phone and you see his face like Big Brother, like 1984. Whereas before, what we were doing was we were playing Brave New World. And it's just like, holy shit, dude. Like, I can't, this is all of me, like, attempting to back out the way that this AI has been trained to be stupid. Like, none of this shit is shit I believe. It's just like, okay, here's all of the concordances and inferences that it might be trained on to be bonkers as fucking nut. Like, just completely bonkers. And given all that, like, what are you supposed to do to, like, push the right button to make the AI stop doing the thing that's making you sick? And I just have no fucking clue. So, yeah, I'm just gonna title this "The Ice Cream is Poisonous."